Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Troy Allen Gallot, and welcome to Trigger Time TV. Okay, guys, we've got the man, the myth, the legend, Super Dave Harrington, and he's going to be giving you a lesson on shooting.
Hey, Dave Harrington here. Many times I've been asked, what do I do to get ready for a pistol workout, as I refer to it? I have a specific set of exercises that I do. It's real brief. It's only a total of 30 rounds that gives me an opportunity to tune up what I feel are the most important aspects of shooting related to my performance. And one, that's my physical interaction with a pistol, and two, my visual action in respect to using the sights. The first exercise that I'm going to fire is what I refer to as a trigger finger isolation exercise, where you would normally grip the pistol in this manner. I come into the pistol and I pinch the pistol in the web of my hand. This helps keep my palm off the frame, okay? Using my left hand to control the pistol until I can get my trigger finger in position. That is the only physical interaction I have with a pistol, is the web of my hand and my trigger finger position. From here, I'm going to mount the gun on target. I'm going to try to stabilize the gun as well as I can, isolating my trigger finger, and press the trigger clean straight to the rear. Good center hit. Okay, I execute 5 with my primary gun hand. As you can see, I'm only using the web and the contact portion of my trigger finger with my left hand. Okay, I had 2 rounds kind of get away from me there. I am on target, but note to self. Now I'm going to start with the pistol in my primary gun hand, and I'm simply going to fire primary gun hand only, and then I'm going to alternate hands. Again, my primary goal here is to focus on my physical interaction with the pistol and my visual interaction with the sights. That's all I really need to tune up. Okay, that's for 20 rounds. 5 isolation right hand, 5 isolation left hand, 10 rounds total alternating hands, and then the last action, I'm simply going to mount, acquire, and fire. I'm going to be as aggressive as I possibly can because the visual action is what I'm more concerned with. Here we go. Once I'm finished firing, top the pistol off and holster, and I'm tuned up. Now I'm ready to focus on my workout. I always begin a workout with strict marksmanship exercises, transition into the fast action guy stuff, and before I am done, I will return to strict marksmanship exercises to finish my workout. Okay, real quick. Let's take a look at the tune-up. What are we actually trying to tune up? 2 things. My physical interaction with a pistol. I know I'm just using, for the trigger finger isolation exercises, I'm only using the web of my hand and the contact point of my trigger finger, but I still have to provide positive control of the pistol and a steady base for aiming, my visual action as far as visually referencing the sights, reading my sights, calling my hits as I'm firing, every aspect of the visual requirements to hit that supports the manner in which I'm firing. I'm Dave Harrington, and that's all I've got.
Trigger Time TV is brought to you by Bravo Company Manufacturing, Bravo Company USA, Beretta, Sacco, Tika, Hornady, Right On Optics, the Neomag, Cheaper Than Dirt, Elite Iron, Tacticam, Deflector Brake, and Peltor.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, in this episode, John Douglas from Falcon Group is going to be talking about how to train your church security team.
Hey, John Douglas here with Falcon Group Tactical again, and this week we're still talking about church security. Thanks to Trigger Time TV for having us out and giving us the opportunity to talk to you about it. You know, some of the biggest challenges that we always encounter in church security are the feedback that we get, money and manpower. Nobody likes to talk about the money, but it's an issue. We have some things that can be done to help with those problems. Let's talk about manpower to start with. It's always the thing of, and the old adage, and I can probably get some amens, is there's a small portion of the congregation of a church that does a very large portion of the work. So we have things that maybe are concepts of protective services that might be able to help with that. They're called force multipliers. The way that we set up security at a church, or the concept that's used from protective services, is called concentric rings of security. And I'm just using this as an example of a force multiplier. What I mean by concentric rings of security is kind of like security set up like an onion or in layers. And at each barrier, each layer, those layers have to be manned by a person, somebody that can stop someone or help someone. So we can use technology and things like that as a force multiplier. A force multiplier can be something as simple as a locked door. When you lock a door, someone doesn't have to be standing there. So that in itself is a force multiplier. Another good force multiplier is an alarm system or a surveillance system. One person can take a surveillance system and look over a large area, and it reduces the number of people that it takes to conduct effective security at a church. So after force multipliers, we talk about the money, and yeah, some money is going to have to be spent. One is on training. The other is some of these force multipliers, the technology, it does cost to employ them. So as far as money goes, there are some unavoidable costs. For instance, one of the most basic things that is absolutely necessary is for a team to be able to communicate. We talked about those layers of security, or concentric rings of security. And from the outside to the inside, communication has to occur to make sure that security is something that continues across those layers. Making sure that the guys on the inside know what's going on the outside. The way that we usually take care of that is a really good two-way radio. RF communications, it's absolutely necessary for communication. It's one of the basic concepts of security, being able to communicate. Once again, I'd like to thank Trigger Time TV for having us out. I'm John Douglas with Falcon Group Tactical.
Hi, my name is Donnie Hayes from Havoc Tactical Solutions, and welcome to the Gear Locker. Today we're going to be talking about the deflector brake, a simple new product designed to fit on your brass deflector of your stock/standard AR-15 rifle. Off-shoulder firing is more comfortable, and the ejected brass is going to roughly the 2 o'clock position, designed to protect the shooter, protect your brass, which is very much appreciated today, and also protects your rifle. The deflector brake changes the angle and deflection pattern of your brass as it's ejected to the 2 o'clock position. Now, this does a lot of things for the shooter. It's pushing your brass forward and away towards the firing line at about the 2 o'clock position between 3 and 5 feet, and it's piling it up there. Now, there are implications to this, and they're all beneficial, right? So the shooter is now more safe from brass burns. Left-handed shooters are more safe from brass burns and off-shoulder firing, during off-shoulder firing. And then your brass is also now being protected because it's hitting our foam part. There are no more dented casings, no more dented case mouths. We're protecting the shooter. All the brass is now moving forward and away from the shooter and moving towards the firing line. And it also protects the rifle and your high-dollar coatings that we're putting on them these days. Very simple product, simple installation, inexpensive, and thank you for visiting the Gear Locker.
Hey everybody, I'm Todd Van Langen, Long Range Ambassador for Beretta USA, representing Sacco and Tikka. Today we're going to talk a little bit about introducing new shooters to the fundamentals of precision rifle shooting. Everybody knows the fundamentals of marksmanship. We've all heard them repeated numerous times. And precision rifle shooting is no different. The fundamentals are all the same. The sight alignment, trigger squeeze, all that nonsense is all the same. It's just applied a little bit differently and a little bit more earnestly, so to speak. The first thing I want to talk about, and it's tough, especially in a tactical scenario, is controlling your breathing or working with your breathing. Cardiovascular and respiratory health is a good thing, and that's why we all in the military, everybody does PT. It keeps your heart rate down and everything else. But if you are heaving when you're breathing, you can still work through that. A person's respiratory patterns go like a wave. They go up and they crest and they come back down, and you got peaks and valleys. So there's two ways to do it. You can either hold your breath, take a shot. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad, or you can shoot during your natural pause. Folks do it different ways for different reasons. The holding your breath method sometimes is not necessarily the best because, especially with new shooters, they're unsure of their of everything else that they have going on, so they tend to hold their breath too long. And after a few seconds, your brain starts to run and you start building up the carbon dioxide. And you're going to start losing motor function. Your vision starts getting worse as your brain starts slowing down. Everything because it's starving for oxygen. So then you need to breathe. As a new shooter, if you can practice shooting and the peaks and valleys at that natural pause, when it comes out and then take that shot, I think for a new shooter that's a little bit better way to go because you can always hold your breath later on in life. If you can practice that first way, it should work out to be a lot better for you. The next thing that's super duper important, obviously, is your trigger squeeze and follow through. They're both should be done at the same time, obviously. You can have your single stage or a 2-stage trigger, whatever it is. You take out the slack until you're ready to break that shot off. That second you're ready to break that shot off, you just press on through. You don't yank it, you don't do anything to it, you just press that trigger to the rear. And when the gun goes off, you keep the trigger to the rear for a second. If you're in a good stable position, you should be able to watch your impacts at most ranges these days. And that which will bring us into the next part I want to talk about is a stable shooting position. That is something that is going to be tough. It's tactical, and in the competition world, they purposely will put you in positions that are not easy to maintain or stay stable in. So with that said, you have to learn how to do that on your own and maintain a position that's durable, stable, and repeatable. It's something that can be accomplished, and you learn how to do it very well by doing dry fires. You can do them at home, you can do them anywhere you need to, and it will help you in the long run. You'll figure that out when you get to a competition or downrange or whatever. But the ability to be comfortable and stable it can be a little bit tough. The world is not always going to be, you're not always going to be in the prone. I think, geez, all the trips I had downrange, I don't think I ever shot or took a shot with my long gun from the prone on bipods. It was some kind of modified prone, taking a knee, some other nonsense, and shooting off a fence rail or some other kind of crazy thing, but it was never on my bipods in the prone. Very, very rare, if ever. And so as a new shooter, you should automatically, after you get through zeroing and doping your gun, you should immediately go and start practicing shooting in awkward positions, following your fundamental, watching your crosshairs as you're breathing, practice your pause, and then breaking your shot off and using your follow through. Cycle the bolt, do it again. Keep doing that over and over and over, and that's the key to success. That right there will make you better across the board. With that said, I'm Todd Van Langen, the Long Range Ambassador for Beretta USA, representing Saco and Tikka. And remember, there's no such thing as advanced shooting, just the fundamentals mastered.
Okay, shooters, to wrap today's show up, Craig Blassingame is going to be dropping some knowledge bombs on the AR-15 platform.
Hey guys, it's Craig Blassingame with Trigger Time TV. Today I'm going to be going over positional shooting, different ways to put your body in positions to acquire your target more effectively. We know that in every environment you may show up and you may have to move your body around that cover. Later in another segment, we're going to talk about cover and concealment and the difference. But today we're going to talk about positions that you use while you shoot from cover, or maybe not. It depends. Situation dependent. Every time it depends on the situation. I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to go from standing to kneeling to double kneeling and then down to prone, and this is a way that I like to do it because it's the most efficient. One of the things that I like to keep in mind, I don't want to be in the prone any longer than I have to. It's limited movement. Very limited movement. I don't want to be in the prone unless I feel completely safe. A lot of times I'm not going to feel safe. So I'm going to want to get back up to my feet to that quality fighting position, and I'm going to show you how to do it the most effective way. So we're going to talk about 3 different positions: single knee, double knee, and prone. I'm going to show you, I'm going to engage these targets as I do each. So with the single knee, all I'm going to do, I'm in my low ready position. I've got my buttstock hinged where it needs to be. All I'm going to do is I'm going to twist my right heel, and I'm going to drop my knee directly down to the deck, going to the single knee. It's going to look like this. Notice where my knee lands. This isn't a very comfortable position. I'm not planning on staying here long. I'm going to engage my target, check my world, check my 6 before I stand, and all I have to do is stand and look at my feet. They're still in that perfect standing position. That's the single knee. Double knee. I'm going to go from the double knee or the single knee to the double knee. It's going to look like this. Single knee, and just push my left knee straight down to the ground. Engage my target, check my world, make sure I check my 6 before I stand up. Come back to a single knee, come back to a double knee, and look where I am, right back in my standing fighting position. Now let's talk about prone. Prone's a little bit more difficult, but it should be easy if you do the way I do it. Single knee, double knee, down to the prone. Guys, remember when you're doing this, always keep that muzzle awareness. Prone position, starting from standing. Single, double, place that support hand down. Check my world while I'm down. Check my 6 before I stand. Use that support hand to come up to the double kneeling, single kneeling, straight back up into that perfect standing position. Guys, I'm going to do all 3 for you as fast as I can. It's going to look like this. Check my world, come to the double, come to the single, check my 6 before I stand, back to that perfect standing position. Remember guys, any situation, you can be put into any position. Is your position efficient? Can you move there fast? Whether you're on the range shooting on a competition or whether you're in a real world scenario, you need to be able to get there as fast as you can and be accurate when you get there. This is Craig Blassingame with Trigger Time TV. Let's keep those guns clean, charge those radios. We'll see you next time.
Trigger Time TV is brought to you by Bravo Company Manufacturing, Bravo Company USA, Beretta, Saco, Tika, Hornady, Right On Optics, the Neomag, Cheaper Than Dirt, Elite Iron, Tacticam, Deflector Brake, and Peltor.
We would like to dedicate today's show to the men and women of the United States military and law enforcement, the people that stand in the gap and keep our country free. God bless America.